What do you mean?
No. No.
Hey.
No. No. They're not dead. They're not dead.
Story is based on real-life criminal cases. Some names, details, and events have been altered for privacy and dramatic purposes. While every effort has been made to ensure accuracy, certain information may not be factually verified. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Some of these cases remain unsolved to this day.
The mush is... You're asking me if I killed my wife and my son.
The Indiana double murder case. The chilling confession of Joshua Penick. Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Murder Mistress. Today's case is one of those stories that shakes a community to its core. A story that forces us to confront the darkest sides of human nature, where love turns to rage and family becomes the setting for an unthinkable tragedy. Before we continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe to Murder Mistress. Your support helps us bring you real stories from the world of law and crime. Stories that remind us that justice is never easy, that truth often hides beneath layers of lies, and that every voice, every victim, deserves to be heard. Every like, every comment, and every share keeps these stories alive, keeps awareness growing, and ensures that we never forget the victims whose lives were stolen far too soon. This case...
They're not dead.
Josh,
They're not dead.
I don't know that for sure.
They're not dead.
Everything says they are.
They're not dead.
Then where are they?
I don't know, but they're not dead.
This began in the quiet town of Oaktown, Indiana, the kind of small, rural community where everyone knows everyone, and crime is rare. It is the kind of place where children still play in open fields, neighbors wave to each other on morning walks, and families gather at local diners after church on Sundays. But in late 2023, that sense of safety was shattered when a mother and her teenage son suddenly vanished. 35-year-old Samantha Jarrell was a devoted mother, a woman described by those who knew her as kind, strong, and full of life. Her 14-year-old son, Colton, was a bright student, loved by his teachers, and known for his gentle personality. They lived a quiet life, trying to move forward after a turbulent relationship with Samantha's ex-husband, Joshua Penick, a man whose name would soon be known across Indiana for reasons no one could have imagined. On a chilly November morning, police receive a report from family members who had not heard from Samantha or Colton in several days. Calls went unanswered, text messages were left on read, and concern quickly turned to panic. Officers from the Knox County Sheriff's Department were dispatched to perform a welfare check. When they arrived at Samantha's home, they found her car parked in the driveway. Her purse and cell phone were inside, but there was no sign of Samantha or her son. Detectives immediately noticed something unsettling. The home was neat, but it felt frozen in time, as if Samantha and Colton had left suddenly mid-routine. The refrigerator still held fresh groceries. A pair of sneakers sat by the door. On the dining table were Colton's school books and a half-finished homework assignment. It was as if they had vanished without warning. Investigators began retracing Samantha's steps. They spoke with friends, co-workers, and relatives, piecing together her last known movements. It quickly became clear that her relationship with her ex-husband, Joshua Penick, remained volatile even after their separation. Court records showed a history of arguments, custody disputes, and accusations of control and intimidation. Friends of Samantha describe how she often expressed fear of Penick, how she had once said she believed he was capable of violence if pushed too far. When detectives first questioned Penick, he appeared calm, perhaps too calm. He told investigators that he had not seen Samantha or Colton for several days and had no idea where they could be. His tone was steady, his demeanor collected. He even offered suggestions, claiming they might have gone on an unplanned trip. But something in his story did not add up. His timeline was inconsistent, and when detectives reviewed cell phone data, it showed that his phone had been in the same area as Samantha's home on the night she disappeared. The investigation intensified. Police obtained search warrants for Penick's home, his vehicle, and his electronic devices. Forensic teams combed through digital data, searching for clues. What they found was chilling. Text messages revealed a pattern of harassment and emotional manipulation. Penick had sent threatening messages to Samantha in the days before her disappearance. In one, he wrote, "If you take my son away from me, you'll regret it." Still, investigators had no physical evidence tying him directly to a crime. Days turned into weeks. The search for Samantha and Colton grew more desperate. Volunteers joined law enforcement in scouring wooded areas and abandoned properties. Flyers were posted across counties. The case drew local news attention, with community members holding vigils and praying for their safe return. Then, nearly a month after they disappeared, a breakthrough came, one that would end any hope of a peaceful outcome. Acting on a tip, police began searching a rural property in northern Knox County, a place connected to Penick's family. It was an overgrown patch of land, quiet except for the sound of rustling leaves and the hum of distant traffic. As officers dug near a small clearing, they uncovered what they had feared most, a shallow grave. Inside were the bodies of Samantha Jarrell and her 14-year-old son, Colton. The discovery confirmed the community's worst nightmare. A mother and son buried together, victims of unspeakable violence. Autopsy reports would later confirm that Samantha had been strangled, while Colton's cause of death was also consistent with homicide. The image of them lying side by side in that shallow grave would haunt investigators and the community for months to come. When confronted with the evidence, Penick initially maintained his innocence. But the weight of the investigation, combined with forensic findings linking him to the burial site, began to close in. Soil samples from his vehicle matched the dirt at the scene. His fingerprints were found on items recovered near the grave. And then came the final, damning piece of evidence, an apology letter discovered in his home. The letter, written in Penick's handwriting, was addressed to everyone I hurt. In it, he expressed remorse for what he had done, but offered no clear explanation. He wrote that he just wanted it all to stop, and that he could not take the pain anymore. The tone was both self-pitying and cold, a confession without accountability, a plea for forgiveness without true understanding of the horror he had inflicted. Faced with overwhelming evidence, Joshua Penick confessed. In a detailed interview with detectives, he admitted to strangling Samantha during an argument. He claimed that things had gotten out of control.
They're not dead.
Josh,
They're not dead.
I don't know that for sure.
They're not dead.
Everything says they are.
They're not dead.
Then where are they?
I don't know, but they're not dead.